Yeah. Okay. Thanks. All right. Okay, we're gonna start comic book club. As
I
I
am
said at the
so
start,
fucking excited. Oh,
yeah,
dude, you guys, did you
Ben's
get it?
got the book.
Man, that's
Craven's
so
Last Hunt.
awesome.
I mean, I think we just start talking about it
Real
because
quick, real quick. Absolute cinema. That's all I gotta say. And that's my review.
absolute cinema,
It's
man.
so fucking good. None of us have read it before, correct?
No, I haven't read it before.
My thoughts: top 10 of all time for sure. Comic books, maybe top 5. That shit blew all of my expectations out of the water. I
Yeah.
genuinely think that is a perfect piece of literature. Like,
Before we really jump into the book, I just want to say
it's so good.
that this is like, I think, the perfect encapsulation of how I want Spider-Man to be written and why he's struggling so badly in the comics right now and why nobody reads fucking modern Spider-Man, because he's no longer written like this. He is like depressed and horny and and angry at the world, but wants to save lives and constantly doubting himself, and he's written with like that 90s edge, and I love it. I want it back so badly. This is when Peter Parker was cool, and he's no longer like this, and it
Yep.
pisses me
This
off.
is Black Suit era Spider-Man. I'll give a. I can. We're gonna just do a quick summary, and we'll dive into the details after.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Kraven's Last Hunt is about Kraven the Hunter, as you can probably guess. He's dying. Before he dies, he decides, I'm gonna fucking put Spider-Man on the ground once and for all, and I'm gonna prove that I'm better than him. So he injects Spider-Man with a toxin that puts him to sleep for 2 weeks. He takes over. He wears an imitation of the black suit. He goes out, he fucking kicks some ass, and is like, I beat Spider-Man. I'm the better Spider-Man. He could never do what I did. Spider-Man comes out and is like, you're a terrible Spider-Man. What do you think being Spider-Man is all about? Kraven the Hunter's like, nope, you're wrong. I'm better than you. He kills himself, and Spider-Man has to go kind of clean up his mess. And we can now go into this book. This is a very... It made me think of Watchmen in terms of when I read Watchmen, I'm like,
Yeah, I agree.
this is a very dense book, like thematically and symbolically. This book has a lot to say. Like, on the one hand, it is an extremely well crafted kind of psychological piece, where it's about perception, and because you see that in that opening of the book when Spider-Man goes to Ned Leeds' funeral and all the the other criminals drug guns on him, and he's like, I wish I could be in their minds and see how they see me. And that's just an offhand comment he makes at the start of the book, and that's what the whole book is about. It is about Kraven the Hunter. His perception of Spider-Man is completely different from Peter Parker's perception of himself. So when Kraven the Hunter gets his chance to step into Spider-Man's shoes and live out what he thinks Spider-Man is, it's this horrible, evil, violent thing. Whereas Spider-Man's is a complete opposite, but it also is a really interesting look at kind of honor and civilization, and because like a lot of Kraven's motivation that he talks about at the start of the book is he's like, my family had to flee Russia and they thought they'd find safety and civilization in America. He's like, but this place is also a fucking hellhole, and there's no honor, and there's no dignity here, and fucking Spider-Man is this fucking symbol of mediocrity. And you have that symbolism throughout the book of the rat and the spider that are kind of always there. And I'm kind of fully want to wrap my head around what that means. I wish I had taken more notes.
So I kind of felt I was gonna talk about that because I feel like it was the story showing us the circle of life, and then Spider-Man and Kraven kind of straying away from it and like defying that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it really ties in, but I remember the panel specifically shows the rat, which rats because of vermin obviously, but rats make such an appearance and they're dying all the time, and people are just they fucking hate rats in this book.
Yes, Mary Jane just kills one.
Yeah, Mary Jane just kills a fucking rat, and that's like the third rat.
Smashes
that
it with
see
her
in that
shoe.
issue.
She picks her shoe and smashes that motherfucker like a balloon.
This book hates rats.
Yes, that is something. It definitely it does comment on the cycle of life and death, because you do see, Spider-Man dies symbolically. He's in the grave. Yeah. He comes out and his vision is him crawling through a tunnel like he's being reborn, like crawling out of like the womb. And when he is reborn, Kraven dies. Kraven kills himself, and that's kind of that never-ending circle. But yeah, I'll let you continue.
So I mean that's basically. I just feel like that was the correlation there. It was just showing what the natural circle of life is for those creatures and them kind of defying it in a way.
Another thing that I thought of was, as you get to Kraven at the start says that he views Spider-Man as this beyond human thing. Like he's like, it's a mystical creature. It's not, he's Spider-Man. He's two things in one. And as he gets to the end of the book, and when Spider-Man resurrects, he sees the difference between Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and he's able to separate the man from the spider, as the name is. But Vermin is both of them in one. Vermin is, there's no separation. Like, there's no human alter ego of Vermin. He is the Rat Man. Like, which sounds kind of funny. He's the rat monster creature, and that is what he is. There is no... He's kind of what Kraven thought Spider-Man was, where there's no humanity left in him, and he's just this one kind of amalgamous thing. And there's just so much more. And I know I would love to read more, and I know if I sat down and thought more about it, you could just derive so much more. Just what a really dense book.
I fully think I need to reread this book.
Yeah, I
again.
Want to so badly.
Soon. I need to get back into it and just really lock into everything and see the things I missed, because it is very dense. And this is an old comic that does exposition really well, though.
Yes, we always talk about how bad exposition
we've run into have had shit exposition from
this era.
This time period, but somehow this manages to just make
awesome.
It so breezy and easy to read. I remember because I read this on Marvel Unlimited, so it's divided into the issues the way it came out, and suddenly I'd be through all 24 pages, and it just felt like an instant. It's a great read.
Yeah, something that I really really like about those narrative boxes. I mean, they're in this book, even between Kraven and Peter Parker, and even Vermin, the way that he talks, with the narrative boxes specifically, it's almost like they're fighting each other.
Yes, I was going to bring that.
Yeah, and I really really like that, because obviously
it happens very often.
Yeah, because Peter he gets to the point where I don't really think that he meant it, but he's he feels bad for Vermin, and he's okay, I know there's a man underneath this guy at the end of the day, but then he tells him listen, dude, if you don't stop, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
He does.
And that happens a lot throughout the book, and I think that's a great way to portray the inner turmoil within ourselves, or things that we struggle through. I mean, obviously, in the beginning, there's fear is a big element early on in the book, especially leading up to Kraven quote unquote killing Spider-Man, because there's a bunch of thoughts going through Peter's head where it's I'm afraid, but it's nah, I gotta lock in, I gotta it's just another Tuesday type of thing. It's fine. And then even when he's resurrecting himself, he half of him's just going after Mary Jane, but then the other half's that fear kind of consuming him, and then there's those two things constantly clashing, and I thought that was amazing. Yeah, that was great.
I also think that adds to the one of the many other topics this goes over is kind of duality, and this is kind of what I touched on with Vermin being kind of both halves in one, but Spider-Man being Spider-Man, the Spider, and Peter Parker. And I think that is kind of represented in the dialogue, where a character will be thinking, they'll have a thought in a text box, and before that thought ends, it's cut off by another text box that takes it a completely different direction. For example, Mary Jane, when Spider-Man goes missing, she's telling her, Spider-Man's fine, he's out there, he's alive, Spider-Man is ... and then the next text box is dead, which is it takes that previous thought in a different direction. I think that kind of is the struggling of those two halves. Like I said, duality is a big part of this book, and everybody thinks in that way in this book. Everyone, Vermin, Kraven, Spider-Man, and Mary Jane all get their own text box, and they all do that, where their thoughts kind of veer off in different directions. Before we forget, because we don't always give these people enough credit, fucking peak goated art.
Yeah.
Really iconic imagery in this book. I think there's a really Is it when he first puts it on? But there's an awesome shot of Kraven standing on the edge of the roof in the black suit without the mask on. So cool. I also love when Spider-Man's being reborn and he's crawling out and you see Kraven's face with the mask slowly pulling off, like the closest Spider-Man. It's so, and he's like calling Spider-Man to come find him. It's so good.
They draw Kraven like a little freak in this book, dude.
Yeah.
He's crawling around naked.
Yeah, and his little undies.
Like, on all fours.
Yep.
He's making a face like, ah.
Yeah.
He's a fucking freak.
The spiders. He eats the spiders.
Yes, yeah, he just eats a fucking handful of spiders. Something Ben said when you read this, you're like, they would never do something this base in the MCU.
You're never seeing this in the
no.
MCU.
And you know why? There's no, I mean, I guess he fights Vermin, but there's no real big showdown with, like, this is truly, Kraven's the main villain. It's a psychological battle between Spider-Man and Kraven. They, outside of that opening confrontation where Kraven just ambushes them, they never fight. Once Spider-Man comes back, he fights Kraven, and Kraven's like, I won. He's like, it wasn't even about beating you. It wasn't even about ambushing you. I beat you by being better than you. And he just kills himself. Spider-Man never fights them, never fight each other. Kraven's like, I made my point, and that's all I had to do. So they would never do that.
That is interesting. Like no adaptation of this will ever be this.
No, they would need to have
the
the big
only
fight.
time this story will exist.
Yep.
They tried doing
any
this for
Kraven's
Spider-Man
last
2.
Yeah, they tried, and they made him dying from some disease he had, and that was about the closest it came to that. Nothing will ever be this again.
No,
That's so interesting. That sucks.
Yep.
That's really awful.
Even though they'll probably never do this, I wasn't really familiar with Vermin. I think he's only been a couple things. Really cool villain. I think Vermin's
He's
awesome.
Cool.
I
wasn't familiar
really
with him either.
Villain.
Yeah.
He straight up like drags people down to the
and
sewers
eats them. Bro, I thought Kraven was going
Yeah.
to save that lady, but no. Vermin just fucking ate her ass.
And they die in between panels.
Yep,
Like,
they just
they're
cut to him
gone.
eating her.
Yeah, he's a skeleton now.
So I did a little bit of reading. I guess the writer, James something DeWitt, I believe, as this book says, the last time Vermin appeared, or maybe the first time he appeared, was in a Captain America comic that Spider-Man cameoed in, which I guess James DeWitt wrote that Captain America run, and I guess people say that he created Vermin, and like that's like he really likes that character, so I guess he used him, and used him very effectively here. This
he worked perfectly for the idea of the story.
Yes, he's really
that's awesome.
Very well realized, and like even as iconic as this book is, I'm not familiar with this character, but I'd love to see him in like a movie or in a video game or in more comics or something else. I think he's
a Spider-Man movie with Vermin, that would be fucking nasty.
Even if it's just like a little bit, and he just fights them.
Yeah, but like a bit, they got to go full on big hairy man.
Yeah, big hairy
disgusting.
beast creature.
Yeah.
Another kind of origin for this book that I talked about in the chat a little bit. This writer pitched it as a Wonder Woman comic initially, with Wonder Woman and Grim Reaper, who I'm not familiar with in Marvel. I know that character in DC. I know the character in Marvel, but I guess he pitched this comic with Wonder Woman and Grim Reaper. I'm just gonna say I don't think that would have worked as well as this did. Then when they turned it down, he pitched it again for Batman with Batman and the Joker. They turned that down. Finally brought it to Marvel. Marvel greenlit it. Thank God. I actually don't think that the Joker and Batman, might be crazy to say, would have been as interesting to see as this is. Because I think that relationship's been mined to death, right? Like the Batman Joker dynamic, like I think we like, not that there's still plenty of interesting things to do with that, right? But I think inherently telling even a really, really good Batman and Joker story isn't gonna be as impactful and memorable as telling this one iconic, like, seminal Kraven the Hunter story.
Well, when you said that in the chat, my first thought wasn't even the Joker. Like, I was like, Two-Face? It would be like Ra's al Ghul or something.
I was thinking Two-Face, but Ra's al Ghul would be awesome also.
Yeah, Two-Face would be good, but yeah, I was like,
Ra's al Ghul was a way better
story
pick.
Between him and Ra's, and then like Vermin would be fucking Croc or something. I have no idea. Not the Joker. I feel like that wouldn't be.
Yeah. Well,
I really want to like know what the story was. Before he had to make the adjustments. Cause, I mean, like I would love to read that whole draft.
Yeah, we may never. It might have never left the pitch phase. We also.
So I assume this was what made Kraven. Right, like beforehand,
probably.
Kraven. He was probably a big villain, but
I'm a Russian guy running through the woods.
Yeah, that's probably what he was.
I think we kind of from what I read, I actually think that Batman version of it did make it to light, because I know that that story where Joker becomes the Batman was adapted in Legends of the Dark Knight, which is an anthology series. I'm not
had it in the Batman cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and that it got adapted in the Batman cartoon. I'm sure Brandon knows that episode is where Joker is Batman.
Yeah.
He's
That was the first episode I saw of that.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a critic of that show. Sorry, but I don't remember that episode. Correct me if I'm wrong, fans of this, Brandon. Does that episode of the Batman have even a semblance of the incredible depth and meaning of this book?
I watched the episode 20 years ago.
What do you think, Brandon?
Listen, man.
I know it's
kid's
a
show.
yes or no question. Okay. Oh, so no, but it's a kid show.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the thing: Batman the Animated Series, if it adapted that episode, would not be missing out.
Yeah,
on the
I knew you were
depth.
gonna go there,
Yeah,
and I
fuck
knew
ass,
after I said it
fuck
that I
ass,
was incorrect.
fuck
Just
ass.
shut
Yeah,
the
let's
fuck up.
fucking
Here's
go.
the problem: when I look up comic where Joker becomes Batman, now all I get is Batman who laughs. So I can't find it. I'm not gonna be able to find this comic.
Yeah, you can't put it on the list.
It's gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Lost in the
Now,
DC metal.
hot take real quick that we can maybe disagree with, or maybe everyone won't disagree. I think I fucking like this more than The Killing Joke.
Yeah, so this came from me comparing this. I'm like, this is like within the Spider-Man version, or like that.
You are right about this.
It hits that
Yeah.
that like stab of like what The Killing Joke did with
of
Batman,
exploring that dynamic.
of like doing that with exactly. Except obviously, the main hero gets the shittier end of the stick versus like someone like Jim Gordon. So like in terms of that, listen, I've read Killing Joke a fuck ton of times. I haven't read it in years. I really like that comic.
I do too.
I-
I,
like
think it's
this-
not to
this
discount
one-
it. That's an amazing book.
Yeah, like Alan Moore is like so fucking awesome with that book. Obviously there's some things that's like for shock value, and I think for the time you have to really respect the balls that it had.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause, like that was
Oh, yeah.
that was extremely controversial at the time. Now everyone like loves it, but like, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
People
you had,
shit
like,
on it
moms writing
still.
to DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, people still do that.
Yeah.
People are just like, "Oh,
It's a very
too
divisive
much, too
book.
far." But then some people, like we used to know, or like
Yeah.
not far enough.
Yeah.
But like,
No.
yeah, I would. It's hard for me to say which one I like more. I think I respect how personal the story is with Kraven's Last Hunt. I think it breaks down the characters extremely well. But then I could also say the same about Killing Joke. So for me, it's like really 50-50. What about Brandon?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think I like them for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have a preference yet. I think I need to reread. Because, again, I've read The Killing Joke countless times. It's a very...
yeah. I've
It's
read
a
that
short
cover to
book. It's very easy to pick up, and
cover. I've also
that's
watched.
a crazy thing to say with how brutal it is.
I've
but
also
it is-
watched the
it's
movie.
An easy book to read.
I've also watched the
Yeah,
movie.
I haven't seen that movie, and I don't plan on watching that.
You
movie.
haven't seen that movie? That's crazy.
No, I'm
Yeah.
surprised we didn't watch that on the California trip, but I don't think any of us wanted to face that.
Andrew and I watched it like a previous time on.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought we did, but I guess it was just me and Ben. Well, Brandon,
Yeah.
But I
guess
I think
guess
that
what's on the
Kraven's
list
Last
for
Hunt-
next trip?
oh.
Again.
No, I'm canceling. Kraven's Last Hunt, I like it for like how metaphorical it is and everything we talked about. The Killing Joke, I like it as like a deep dive into the psyche of both characters. I see them as different things. I don't know if I don't have a preference yet. I just don't. I think they're both goated. Good
Yeah.
books.
I think for
with both
me,
great art.
I think might be part of, and maybe this isn't necessarily fair, but I think all it takes is one bad day has kind of been worn out.
Well,
on my
that's the
end.
other
Yeah.
thing. I think
This book has
'cause I was gonna say that too.
It's a little
I think
unfair.
The Killing Joke, we've seen it too many times, and we've
And
read it too many times, and it's all
every
played out
Batman
now.
story ever since then, Joker's always like one bad day, one bad day, one bad day.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing, everywhere. Like this
It's
is
been abused and misused.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm-
since that book, but I'm only looking at.
Yeah,
these
like I
things
said,
in
I don't know if it's
isolated
fair,
media.
but this
Yeah.
Kraven's Last Hunt. Like I really feel like I felt like I don't know. I just
I'll
I
say
had
this.
I had a visceral reaction reading this book. That's what I'll say.
I'll say this: it's Killing Joke is extremely difficult to adapt. We
Yeah.
know that. I'd say that Liss is a lot more difficult to adapt than even Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Oh my
So I'll say
God,
that.
yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah.
I can't even imagine how they do this in
I will
live
also
action.
real
or
quick to
animation, to be
clarify for anyone. I still think The Killing Joke is peak. I think that's like a 10 out of 10 book. I just want to clarify. Because then there'll be someone in the comments, if anyone sees this, like, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know, that book's actually funny. I'm
Again-
like, I agree. That book is goated. Something about Kraven's
I
Last
think
Hunt
that
just
every
really
time,
hit me.
every time Kraven comes up as well, this book is referenced. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
But no one's
the
read
Joker's
it.
everywhere. Kraven
Yeah.
isn't. And
I don't know.
as fans of DC, we see the Joker all the time, and we're real sick of that guy. So there's some bias at the moment,
Yeah.
but both books are great. I
Yeah.
think that's
I was gonna say, like, everyone I know has read The Killing Joke, or is at least aware of the story.
Yeah.
I actually don't think everyone I know has read this book. Like, that goes for, like,
No.
we've all read.
I know a lot less people.
We've all read
Yeah.
Killing Joke cover to cover like 10 plus times. This is the first time any of us have fucking read this.
It took us till now to
Yeah.
read this,
And I'm so glad
we all
I
love
did.
Spider-Man.
I know, and I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah.
I got a tattoo, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't read this book.
It's so fucking good. This
The
is
one thing I remember
once in a
from this-
lifetime book, by the way. I'm just
The
gonna
one,
say.
the one thing I remember from over the years, our Watch Mojo had a video that was like 10 Spider-Man stories that are darker than any Batman stories, and this was on the fucking thumbnail. So, that's the one thing I always remembered about this book. I'm like, oh, Spider-Man and the symbiote coming out of the grave. What the fuck? happened here?
That
Like,
is even for as many people who haven't read this book, that is like iconic symbolism, like imagery.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows Black Suit Spider-Man crawling out of the grave. Anyone anyone with comics.
Also,
Man.
I didn't realize, like, seeing that iconography my entire life, I didn't realize that this is the era where he just recreated the black suit and it's not the symbiote.
Oh, I actually didn't know that because I was like, he's being a fucking asshole at the start of this book. He's like, I don't really give a fuck that this guy died. Fuck him.
Yeah, this is the era where he just had a black suit for a bit.
I did notice, like, I'm surprised, like, the symbiote itself isn't coming in play. Like, it seems to just be Peter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know.
I thought it might have been
I-
those early days before they confirmed. I don't know.
No, this is just how he was written in that time.
He was
He
really
was edgy
pissed.
and cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a little
90s, man.
dickhead.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, I like Spider-Man being a bit of a dickhead. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all dickheads a little bit. He's just being himself. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go full Spider-Man Lotus dickhead, then it's fine.
Oh, Spider-Man Lotus.
yeah.
Anyway, we should spin the wheel. Actually, well, we kind of said it. This book's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get any
Yeah.
better than this, really, for
Pete,
Spider-Man.
Throw it a
story.
pile of dog shit. No. This is recommend it to your fucking grandma if you want
Yeah,
to
man.
scare your grandma.
Yes.
Good book. Now
Oh
we're gonna
boy,
get
I'm
next
so
week's.
excited. I'm so please
Holy
be more
shit,
P.
we got so many books. Please,
Spin again.
spin again.
Bro, almost got Bionicle. Ball one.
I own it,
Bro.
but it's expensive now. So y'all would have to do it digitally. But
Good. I can't believe there's a Bionicle comic on here.
that's
No.
No.
Oh!
I have lists. So
Let's
it's all
go, dude.
good. So back to
That's a good
back
pick.
with the goated one.
I haven't read this either.
I read this a long time ago, so I'm
New
happy.
Content from me. Let's go.
This is Ben. You guys have the DC compacts for this.
Yeah.
Yes, I bought the compact for
I'm
it.
gonna go swing by.
Let's go.
I'll go swing by and grab
And
one.
I will say the Kraven's Last Hunt, if you do want to get a physical one, it was
Yeah, it looked pretty cheap from
like,
what
it was
you
like
got.
it was slightly more expensive when a compact, but like only by like $1 or $2. So I would just do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, does Brandon want to do the outro for the episode?
Yeah, that's the end of the episode, dude. It's been a good one. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And as you saw, next week's comic book is Kingdom Come, which is very exciting. Alex Ross art. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about the art so much next week. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Do all the stuff, and goodbye.
Goodbye.